Y'all had over $40,000 worth of debt that I did not have to pay, and it's because I sued my creditors. I had total of three lawsuits, but my very first lawsuit is what I'm going to talk about today because I don't have any type of settlements agreements with them, so I can talk openly about everything. So I had over $40,000 worth of credit cards that I owed on, and I know I didn't have the money. I just did not have the money to figure it out. I need to get my credit score back up. So what I did was I actually sued the companies because they refused to remove it from my credit reports. So I'm going to take you through all of the steps today. I do have this book on my website, allthingsrickita.com, where you guys can be able to purchase it. So definitely go to my website, purchase it. The book is $10 when you get it directly from my website, $10 and up. So go ahead and check it out. I do also have my 4-book bundle. I have two of these kind. This one comes with 4 books, but it includes my Suing to Win book, which is what we're going to talk about today. And then also, if you see it's a one with white here, it's for people that got a bankruptcy. So if you have a bankruptcy, get the one that's white here because it has 2 free courses instead of the 1 free course you're going to get with this. Although I'm going to tell you guys how to be able to sue the companies and kind of the stages that I went through to sue the companies, I still want you guys to definitely get the book, like if you have the bankruptcy, because I have the full on, it's like an hour and a half where I go into greater details. It's only so much that I can talk about right now. This ain't gonna be nothing but like a 10-minute video. So it's not that much I can talk about, but definitely make sure you guys get the book on my website, okay? If you guys want to learn more about suing. All right, so let me tell you what happened. Let me just set the tone on what happened. So I had over $40,000 worth of credit cards that I did not have to pay. It would have been more, but during the process, some of the companies decided that they were going to just go ahead and delete it from my credit report. So I didn't necessarily have to worry about any company that deleted from my credit reports. And also with me going after these companies and suing them, I was never sued by any of these companies. In terms of like them trying to take me to court. We talking over $40,000. You'll think they would, because I see some people get sued for $1,000, $2,000, but they never tried to sue me. And I just cannot come with the money, y'all. So it is what it is. I have to sue. And also from 2 other lawsuits, those are based off of like collection companies, and the last lawsuit is with the credit bureaus. Now I'm not going to specifically talk about those lawsuits, but I am going to tie these companies in terms of, we're going to talk about Larry. So I'm going to put Larry's situation in this because Larry asked me to make this video. So I'm going to put his situation in here. Hopefully he come across this video again. I'm going to put his situation in here and tie it into mine. But I'm not trying to be our lawyer. I'm not trying to give y'all legal advice, but y'all, the stuff is good. It is good. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have the background on it. All right. So y'all, when you go through the process of thinking about suing the companies, we got to go straight into it. I'm gonna tell you what y'all need to do. I'm not gonna gatekeep on anything. Y'all have to send out letters to the credit bureaus first and tell them to delete it. Now, when y'all send out letters to the credit bureaus, please make sure that y'all are sending it certified mail. Tell them that they need to delete the accounts from the credit reports. Make sure, if it was me, and let's talk about first lawsuit, I listed every company on there that I wanted deleted. It was a lot of companies on there that I wanted deleted. So I listed everything on that one dispute letter. I did not space out my dispute letters. I know, like, if y'all get like my 4-book bundle, I have like my 70 dispute letters. So in the end, you will see that I have like a lot of letters in the back of here. And I didn't do any of that. That's targeting letters. Those are targeting letters if you only really have one account. Inside of the free course that come along with the books, I have this one letter that y'all can send out, put all of the companies on there. That's what I would do. All right. Now, y'all have to get them 30 days. You have to get them 30 days. Y'all have this tracking number on here. They have 30 days to respond to y'all. If they don't respond, I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't even be looking at that. I wouldn't be looking at that at all. I wouldn't be caring what they respond to, because all they're going to say is the account is verified. And that's none of my business to me, because I know the account is not correct. Okay. Now, when you do your dispute letters too, let me make sure I add this. When you do your dispute letters, you want to make sure that you point out errors. So when you guys look into my Suing to Win, or if you check out like my Raise Your Credit Score 100 points in 30 days, it's all inside the same free course. Y'all gonna see the masterclass for that. I actually show my screen and I show y'all how to find these errors. So I would say put them errors inside of your letters, but it shouldn't take that long. And then I also have the option of me creating 6 months of letters for you all for free. So double check my website, just Rickita.com, not all things Rickita.com, just Rickita.com, and you guys will be able to see details about that as soon as you go on the website. Okay, so the first letter, y'all have to send to the credit bureaus. Okay, I have to send this to the credit bureaus. Oh, somebody said that they book arrived today. You're very, very welcome. Get started on that thing. And this is perfect that you're watching now because if they refuse to delete the account from the credit report, y'all, we have to sue. We gotta sue. All right. So after your first letters, right? Say if the companies come back saying that the account was verified, they're gonna keep it on the credit reports. Then what I would personally do is I would send out another letter to the credit bureau saying, "Hey, how did you verify this account? What do you mean it's verified?" That's basically what the letter say. That's what I was saying, a letter, and then I would send a letter to each company. All right. So say if it's Capital One, say if you're trying to get the Capital One deleted, I would send a letter to Capital One saying, "Hey, Capital One, how did you verify this account? This stuff is not correct." If it's Discover, I would send a letter to Discover too. "Hey, you told the credit bureaus that this is correct. Show me how it's correct. This stuff is not correct. Delete this from my credit reports." Okay, whoever the company is, if it's LVNV Funding, a collection company, y'all can include them too. Y'all can include all them different accounts on there. And then also too, y'all can include, like if y'all have a bankruptcy, include that bankruptcy on there in y'all first letter to the credit bureaus. Y'all not sending that letter to like the courthouse. Y'all send it to the actual credit bureaus. Now, if the credit bureau said that it was verified through the courthouse, then you will send a letter to the courthouse. But we go through more of that stuff inside of the bankruptcy book and stuff like that. But just include the bankruptcy in your first letter. And then remember the second letter I said y'all need sent to the credit bureaus, include it there too. And remember, make sure that y'all sending everything certified mail, y'all. That is key. Send everything certified mail. You have to track everything. Again, I'm not trying to be a lawyer. I'm not trying to get y'all legal advice, but everything I think about sending these companies, y'all, I'm thinking of this as evidence. If y'all don't delete it, I'm going to sue you. And I'm going to have evidence that I sent you the letter and you ignored me or you said it was correct. And then now we're going to look at it together. You're going to see it's not correct, which is going to make it easier for us, y'all, when we start getting settlements from these companies, which we're going to talk about in a minute. All right. So month number one, go to the credit bureaus. Month number two, you're going to send it to the credit bureaus and you're going to send it to the company. Month number three is just straight, "Hey, listen, all of the companies list the credit." It would be a letter to the credit bureaus. It'd be a letter to each company that you sent letters to saying, "Hey, I am about to sue you." It's a demand letter. "Give me $10,000, delete the account from my credit report, and waive the debt." So, like if Capital One, you suing them, you technically owe Capital One $4,000. "Hey, you need to waive that. I no longer owe you." And some of y'all may not think that this stuff is like, "Are you sure this committed?" No, my client literally just got her checks. Okay. So I can't talk about my own stuff, but I can talk about other people's stuff. They're getting checks right now, y'all, doing this method where the company is actually giving them money. They have to put the lawsuit in because the demand letter, that's just evidence showing, "Hey, I tried to work this out before court. Y'all still didn't want to work this out. I tried to work this out. You didn't want to work it out. So, hey, listen, this is what I have to do." I told them, "Hey, we can settle this outside of court." Now I'm at court. I want more money. I want more now. All right. Now, these companies, y'all, they not going to delete the accounts from your credit report. Sometimes they will. I have seen that some companies at that time, like I recently seen, well, one of my clients, a collection company, just vowed out and like, "Okay, we going to delete it." If they delete it from your credit reports, look and see if that account come back. You want to make sure that account don't come back. All right. Make sure all of the letters that y'all been sending out, y'all keep copies of it and y'all just keeping everything organized. So we already went through chapters 1, 2, and 3 inside of the book. So I'm flipping through it to make sure that we stay organized in everything that I'm telling y'all. All right. So now in chapter number 4, that's when I talk about I'm not doing no complaints to the CFPB. I'm not doing any of that. I want to go and straight sue the companies. I'm not doing no CFPB. CFPB gonna get paid on their own. They're not gonna let me see any of that money. If they let me see some of that money, y'all, it's not gonna be what I say. At least $3,000. If I was to a company, y'all, at least $3,000. What I'm gonna try to get minimum. So each company, each credit bureau, $3,000 each. Each company, $3,000 each. I know if I go to the CFPB, y'all, they not gonna do that. They gonna just stall. And sometimes when y'all send stuff into the CFPB, y'all, what they say? They said, "Oh, like the credit bureaus, oh, we got your information. We're going to process your disputes." No, ma'am, I get the disputes already. I am asking that the CFPB do something. Okay, so I'm skipping that. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing none of that Better Business Bureau, none of that stuff, y'all. I'm going to chapter 5. I'm going to actually file that lawsuit. For me, I will file in federal court. The latest 2 lawsuits that I've done was in federal court. My very, very first lawsuit where I had over $40,000 worth of debt that I did not have to pay, y'all, I did that in federal court. Okay, I did that in federal court. So I did the very first lawsuit was in state court. The other 2 was in federal court. I personally, when we going back to state court, I was going straight to federal court. I just ain't got time for that. I took some classes that taught me how to properly sue in federal court, and I just like it. It's way more organized. I just ain't got to play games with these companies. So I love, love, love federal court. So chapter 5, I talk about you do it in federal court. You got to do your complaints. You got to do your summons. If you guys don't make that much money, or it's something about the poverty line in terms of your income, y'all. If you guys have a lower income, or if y'all meet that threshold, y'all don't have to pay any type of fees. Y'all can get y'all fee waived, because it's like 400, it's 400 some dollars to file your case in federal court. A lot of people can get that fee waiver though. Like, if y'all get any type of government assistance, just automatically think I'm not going to have to pay, because some of y'all be questioning it. That was something that I was taught in school. If you get any type of government assistance, you can get a fee waiver, period. Okay, you don't have to pay any fees. Also, too, when y'all want to serve the companies, if y'all get the fee waivers, the U.S. Marshal will serve them. Some of y'all have different states. Some of them may say, "Oh, we don't do that." Yes, you can. Tell a judge you have the fee waiver and you want the marshals to go ahead and serve these companies. But if you guys don't get the fee waivers, y'all have to pay for each service. All right. Understand that once these companies get served, they got 21 days to respond. My client recently, they got the settlement before the company even responded. They like, "Hey, I don't want to respond. Let's settle right now." Okay. Usually when you guys, like my very first lawsuit, I was in state court, y'all. So the judge, when we first came to court, the judge was like, "Okay, y'all go outside and talk." And I was like, "Judge, I don't want to talk outside. I want you to make them delete this from my credit report." And I didn't realize, y'all, that's not how it goes. Y'all are usually going to talk to the company, and the company is going to settle with you directly. It's going to be something that y'all going to do, and then y'all will put a settlement agreement in. If I was ever put a lawsuit in, y'all, I'm going to ask for at least $3,000 minimum. I'm going for more, but minimum $3,000 per company. I'm telling them I need you to delete the account from the credit reports, and I'm going to ask them also to waive the debt. All right. So we talk about the settlement negotiations. I talk about how you guys could possibly start high. Say, "Hey, I want $40,000. I want 30,000. I want 20,000," and then let them come in small, saying that they're gonna give you only $1,000 or $2,000, and you say, "Oh, no, 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 I cannot accept that little bit of money. I need more money." And then and then you give them a number. If you are already at 30,000, maybe come down to 25,000. Then they'll come up to $3,000, or they'll come to 2,000. Then you say, "No, no, that's not enough. I come from 25 to 20." Then they'll come from 2,000, maybe to 3,000, maybe to 4,000. You can keep pushing it up that way. And whenever you feel like they're not going to give you any more money, they keep pushing back on you, or maybe you just tired of the case, everybody else settled out, you only got one or two companies. Then at that point, you can go ahead and say, "You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just take this little money from this company and call it a day." But for me, y'all, at least $3,000. They got it. All right. And waiver of the debt, that's going to be huge. All right. So y'all going to go back and forth with the companies. I realize in class, my professor made it very, very clear that if you want these companies to really start paying money, you need to start asking them for stuff that they don't want to give you. Start asking them for certain documents. That's when you guys, after y'all do y'all case management, y'all got to do a case management report. Y'all got to basically talk to the companies. Y'all going to come up with y'all deadlines. It's something in court. Once y'all do that, y'all can start asking each other for documents. My professor made it very clear. So many documents that y'all can ask for. As soon as y'all start asking for documents, that's when a lot of companies want to settle. So when you first put the lawsuit in, they're gonna want to settle. When you start asking for certain documents they don't want to give you, they're going to settle. But the moral of the story is this, y'all, because that's really the whole case. Once y'all get y'all settlements, and a lot of these companies gonna just settle throughout the process. Please get the book. You can hear me talk more details about it. But once y'all start getting y'all settlements, y'all, the case is over with them. Y'all have y'all settlement agreement. Make sure that they did delete the account from your credit reports. Make sure that they did waive the debt. So if you did owe, like I said, the Capital One $4,000 to Capital One, they make sure that they waived it. Waiving it, a lot of times, y'all probably just don't owe it anymore. Just think about it. Y'all have this agreement saying that you don't owe it. So if it ever show up with a collection company, Capital One ever try to come after you saying you owe it, no, we have a signed agreement saying I don't owe. Okay, so deletion, waiver, and then wait on your check. Y'all might get the check overnighted. Y'all might get the check just in the mail. Some of them may even say they're going to direct deposit it to y'all. They're going to ask you y'all banking information. Okay, but that is what the process of the suing process is. So y'all, it took me so long to fully figure this stuff out. I talked to countless attorneys. I was under attorney for a while, learning all of this stuff, y'all, and it still blows my mind that you could send a letter to a company and tell them, hey, ask them, can you delete the account from the credit reports? And they would ignore you. They refuse to delete it. But once you sue them, then they like, oh, you don't owe us money anymore. We're going to give you money. It just crazy to me that it works like that. It's like I would have just did it for free if you would have just deleted from the credit reports. But the problem is so many people are out here saying that they're going to sue these companies, and they just, and before they were just deleting it, scared of lawsuits, deleting it, deleting, and they realize y'all are just lying in y'all letters. Because a lot of letters that y'all get from these people, y'all paying for letters, they y'all saying y'all gonna sue and y'all don't sue. So they like, hey, you're not finna sue. That's like one of the kids, you tell them you're gonna take their toy away. You ain't taking my toy away. You told me that yesterday. You ain't taking no toy away. I be thinking about that with my 4-year old. You don't want to hear none of that from me no more. You ain't finna do nothing. So I ain't finna worry about nothing you saying. Same thing with the credit bureaus, y'all. Same thing with the companies, okay? But if y'all have further questions, make sure you guys get the book, allthingsrickita.com. Y'all can get it for as little as $10. And then also I suggest y'all get my 4-book bundle. And if y'all had a bankruptcy, get the bankruptcy one. Get the bankruptcy one because it's going to be cheaper to get there. It's the cheapest place you can get my book out of all of the places that y'all can be able to get it. Okay. But that is the process of being able to sue. If y'all have further questions, please let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next video.